got a new shirt. Just, we'll talk about this in a second. But look, it says, I found this humorous. Because it's a bone. It's the humour. Right. Electromagnetic induction, very important. Not as good as this shirt, but it's all still really good. 2 videos. This video is going to be about the right hand grip rule and what happens when you whack a current through a conductor. Really, really simply, and I'll explain it in the tutorial, but if you have a wire and you whack a current through it, it induces an electromagnetic field around that wire in a particular direction. And the direction in which that electromagnetic field is flowing, whether it be clockwise or counterclockwise, is shown to us by the right hand grip rule, okay? So thumb represents current, okay? If this is my wire and I whack a current this way, you notice that my fingers wrap around counterclockwise. Whereas if the current is running down, then you can see that my hands wrap clockwise, and that is the direction of the induced electromagnetic field, okay? But basic law of electromagnetic induction is when you whack a current through a conductor, it induces an electromagnetic field, okay? Check out this tutorial video and it will explain the whole thing in more detail.
Alright, so let's discuss this in a little bit more detail. The first part of our assignment is to draw an electromagnetic field for the wire below, and that's this wire here. Okay, now let's consider how we might draw an electromagnetic field around this wire. Well, in order to do this, we need to use the right hand grip rule, okay? And we need to remember that our thumb is I, the direction of the current, and we can see that the current is moving down. And if we point our thumb down, we can see that our fingers turn towards the right, like so, which means that the induced electromagnetic field is moving in the clockwise direction. Similarly, if we have another wire which has a current running through it in this direction, our thumb points up and our fingers curl to the left in the counterclockwise direction, and our induced electromagnetic field would look like this. Okay, so that is how we can use the right hand grip rule to deduce the direction in which an induced electromagnetic field will run in a conductor. But let's consider the next part of our question, which is to discuss how a magnetic field can cause an induced voltage. And in order to do that, we need to consider a solenoid. Okay, that was a rubbish solenoid. We need to consider a solenoid. Okay, and it's connected to a bulb, which is connected to a voltmeter. Okay, like this. And I have a bar magnet, okay, which runs north to south. Now this bar magnet, we know, has a magnetic field around it that runs from north to south. And what's great is that if we run this magnetic field through a conductor, if we run it through the solenoid, effectively what happens is, because these magnetic field lines here are consistently cutting the wire, the solenoid, the charged particles that reside within the solenoid, the electrons, experience a force. And that's because all charged particles that come into contact with a magnetic field experience a force. So by this constant cutting, now it's important that the magnet is moving. It can't just move and then stay still, because then there's no change in the field lines being cut. It has to be moving. It has to be consistently cutting the field lines. That effectively causes a force to be experienced by the electrons, which causes them to move through the circuit. And as they move through the circuit, they will deposit energy into its component, and in doing so, they'll have more energy here than here. Now, this effectively has created a potential difference in energy, and we call that potential difference a voltage. Okay, so this is how we can use a magnet and a solenoid to produce an induced voltage in a circuit.
Okay, hopefully that helps you understand the concept of electromagnetic induction a little bit better and how we might apply the right hand grip rule. Please obviously like and subscribe, it really helps us, you know, grow the channel and get more content out to you guys. But otherwise, we will see you in the next video. And stay quantum. Bye guys.